Welcome and thank you so much for being here. We're going to do a timeless collective reading. Whenever this reading finds its way to you is the right time. Just keep in mind, it is a general reading. So see what signs, symbols, messages, and energies resonate for you in your particular situation. Hopefully help bring you clarity on whatever you're wondering. It could broaden your perspective, narrow your focus, help you see something with fresh eyes in a new way, in a new light. In the end, always trust yourself that divine inner guidance is inside of you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so your decisions are sound and based in love and for the highest, greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin. We're going to start with the tea leaf today. I have the deck split into half, into two parts because it's pretty big. So let's see what God's source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. What are the opening messages to be helpful, energies to be aware of for the collective right now? Please and thank you. Ooh, we have a bunch. Well, the one that's upright is the big V. We got a victory card coming through. It says that victory is coming through in some endeavor. So this is something you're going to feel really good with. Wow, you have victory, an egg, and a carrot that all popped out together, guys. So you have the energy of victory and success. There is something that's going to hatch and grow and develop. It also looks like this egg is golden. It's success that is assured with good plans and some hard work. So it is putting some energy into something, but it could be that you have to, while an idea is incubating or why something is just in the beginning stages, really put some solid plans together so you know how to really take action on those plans. It's also an opportunity that's coming through and a windfall. So it could be that once something starts to grow, it comes in all at once. It looks like this is a golden opportunity for you. The carrot makes me think of eyesight. So I feel like something is going to be just in your line of sight, or it's going to look I'm getting just right for you. But maybe it's recognizing when something is right in front of you to, I'm getting like positively take advantage of that situation because it's meant for you. Anything else from this half? No. Let's go to the other half. Is there anything else? Energy going on right now, helpful to know about for the collective, please and thank you. Let's just go through the rest, see if anything pops out. The owl is down there for you. I feel like that's wisdom. Nothing else. Good advice from a wise person. Maybe that's the thing that'll be right in front of you. I also think of how the owl sees something, maybe in a spiritual perspective, but the owl can turn its head almost all the way around. So maybe it's about seeing the 360-degree perspective of something. But also, the owl, when the owl flies, it's silent. Its feathers are shaped in such a way where you can't even hear like the owl flapping its wings. So maybe it's about knowing when to stay silent with something, when to observe, and when to like dive on in and take your catch. It could also be somebody that comes through with advice that helps you open up how you were seeing something, changing your perspective, seeing something without blinders on. Also, the owl makes me think of, I always think of the owl in nighttime. So maybe it's something that was in the dark before and somebody has some wise counsel or advice that helps illuminate a situation, bring light to a situation, help you see in the dark. Let's see if anything else pops out. Go one more run through from this half. No. So we're not going to take anything else. Let's go to something different. Since the owl popped out, I did bring out the animal card. So let's do an animal card and get you an animal spirit to be helpful. What is a message to bring more clarity and insight to the success, hard work, windfall of abundance, and victory coming through for the collective? Please and thank you. I'm also getting that for some of you, you are going to see that golden opportunity where you recognize you are the one who has really wise advice for someone else to maybe help them see a bigger perspective, but also to, I'm getting them going on their garden of victory, like to help somebody else. I see you like taking somebody under your wise wing. So let's go to spirit animals. What's another message to be helpful, please and thank you. A squirrel. I feel like both of those animals like hang out in trees. That little squirrel. So this is also the energy of preparation. Having good plans, maybe even storing something up for a rainy day, preparing for the change in a season, preparing for your future. I don't know, I feel like the squirrel's kind of like it's like a fun little animal. I feel like they've got a lot of like energy and spirit, and maybe it's about you planning but also being flexible, because they're pretty flexible in the tree, and they also jump from different branches. So maybe you're even jumping to a different goal, or jumping almost like into a different timeline, like a different branch of your life you never experienced before. Let's see, let's like a little look into the book just to see. It's also number 88. That's 8 and an 8. So that is the energy of abundance, manifestation, something coming back around. But that does bring you to a 16. So it might mean that you have to pay attention to, if it's a tower kind of energy, if something is taken away so that there is room for something new to come in, or something happens fast. It's all about how you react. It's all about how you choose to build. Let's see. Squirrel is learning to plan for the future. Infused with lively and spirited energy, the squirrel instills a zest. Makes me think of citrus fruit. Maybe you live somewhere with a citrus tree, or I don't know, getting like, I know it's citrus, but I'm getting like spicy kind of energy. I just thought of like chili peppers, and then I thought of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Maybe there's a song that would be appropriate for the playlist. I don't have anything coming to mind, but I will find one and put it on the playlist for you guys. Usually the right thing comes through later. It's a zest for spontaneity while simultaneously underscoring the significance of foresight. That's what I saw here. Through its behaviors of gathering and storing, it exemplifies that preparation not only ensures survival, but also paves the way to a prosperous future. So it's you preparing for a lot of abundance to come in. So it's you getting your ducks or your owls or your squirrels in a row, having some like solid plans, but I still feel like you got to be a little bit flexible if the weather changes, or something changes your plans along that timeline. So let's continue. Let's go to I don't even know now. What do I want to pull? Let's do an angel number for you guys. What's one angel number to be helpful? On the egg, the owl, the V. Maybe somebody has a name with the letter V. I looked at the owl and I just thought of the name Ollie. That's kind of an unusual name. Maybe somebody has the name Ollie or Allie. It just made me think of Elenore too. I don't always get names. It's pretty rare for me to have names, but when they pop through, they're pretty big. And that actually is giving me goosies. So I hope that's a person or a name that somebody resonates to or with. Let's get one angel number, please and thank you. 15, 15. You're getting your big break. You're getting your your golden egg is ready to crack, ready to hatch. The big break, not a big break. It's the one. It's innovation. I also feel like that's a message that keeps coming through for you guys. So maybe you're sitting on a really golden idea. You need to like maybe even get a patent for something for some of you, or talk to, I think of this owl, and it made me think of maybe a silent investor or somebody that will invest in you. It's focus, creation, progress, forward movement, skills, and goals, and opportunity. It's health. You do have a windfall coming in. It's extra cash or other support. It could be that wise advice is coming on in. It's coming in your way. So keep going and have fun. That's that squirrel energy. Have fun with it. Don't be so serious. Have fun when performing your tasks. If you're having fun with what you're working on and what you're doing, that's where you're following your joy. That's where the abundance comes in. That's where the open doors and the opportunities make their way towards you. The most tremendous success comes from passion. All efforts will be rewarded. It says all passions will be rewarded big time. I think that's a song. Big time. Is that Peter Gabriel maybe? So, all right, let's go to a different deck, but I feel a little sneeze sneaking in. So I'm going to pause you one moment. All right, let's continue. My sneezes tend to be loud, and I didn't want it to be really loud on the camera. So let's dive on into the tarot. This is the Luna Soul Tarot. Let's get a little clarity. Tapestry of the energy coming through and how to navigate this energy and spiritual weather seasons best. What would be helpful for the collective to know, please, and thank you. It looks like a V. I know it's not, but this is a decision. This is the Two of Swords. So maybe it's about knowing which way to go. Maybe you've been sitting on that branch or sitting on that fence, or someone else has been. It's hard to see this in the camera. This is when you make a decision that involves your head and your heart. Don't get stuck in one or the other, but you might have to weigh the pros and the cons of a situation, see how something feels, what feels like it's light or what feels like it's too heavy, what can you let go of. But with the Two of Swords, when you make a decision, sitting down and not making a decision is also making a decision. So I feel like a decision does have to be made. I don't feel like you necessarily have to stick to it if new insight or new information, because that's clarity that comes with swords. It's information, communication, clarity. It's words. I feel another sneeze. I'll be right back. And continuing on again. I think it's because I put my heat on last night. It's starting to get pretty cold at night. And I haven't had the heat on all summer, and I think that maybe like made some dust in my house. But Two of Swords, if it's upside down, it could be that somebody's not deciding, teetering back and forth way too much, or made a decision they're not happy with and continuing down a path that doesn't feel right. It could also be that somebody needs some clarity or a little more communication. Maybe I hear answer to a question before they're comfortable with making a move. But it looks like you have those swords and you are grounding them in the earth. There is growth of the daffodils around them. There's also something in the background. A little feather. Maybe you see feathers. It almost looks like there's fish. I think they're butterflies, but it makes me think of a fish out of water energy. So maybe this is a really unusual decision, or you feel like a fish out of water going down a certain road because it's not your usual road. Clarity on the Two of Swords. What is this decision about? It's about how to save. This is the same energy as a squirrel. It's how to get through a door that was closed, or recognize that a door is closed and you might not be able to get through, so you have to go a different way, go about something a different way. The Four of Discs, I always see both ways because it has a beautiful message that helps you recognize where your money, finances, things, everything in your everyday world, like you might be overspending. So it always like has a message of see where you are overspending something or buying too much of something that is not useful to you. Just gets kind of dusty on the shelf. But it's also recognizing how to save for a rainy day, how to put your little nuts away. So when the season changes, when a bill comes, when you have to buy something for your project or your home or make an investment of some kind, you do have something kind of tucked away. So sometimes it's the energy of like a little bit at a time makes a big difference later. It is preparation, but this could also be the energy of the miser, smothering something, holding onto something so tightly that there's no energy of investment. It's where you almost like just put everything and you bury it in the backyard or put it in the piggy bank, and you never allow yourself any kind of release on something to enjoy what you're working towards or what you're working for or why you're putting all that passionate energy into something. It's usually where there's lack of passion. So you do have to recognize this could also be somebody else's energy. They're always sort of like stashing everything away but never enjoying any of it. Maybe that's where that wise advice comes through, or you offer to someone else like, hey, you got, all this that you're working towards, why don't you put a little bit aside a week for that thing that you're constantly telling about, or that vacation that you keep mentioning, or that house that you want to buy. It's someplace where you can release something wisely so that it can come back in abundance. And I even see this sometimes as figuring out how to have residual income, something that can keep coming back around. But there has to be some kind of release on something. But if it's constant release, or you're constantly bringing too much in and it's more than you can hold, it's recognizing how to bring balance back into that situation to make a decision that can make a big difference in the change of energy in your everyday world. A little clarity on the Four of Discs. It's interesting. This person is holding on to these balls so tightly. There is actually a way to get through that door. The key is right in his or her line of vision. But you have to let something go to be able to pick it up to get through that open door. That opportunity. It's like the key is being offered. It's right there, but you have to let something go to be able to pick it up. What is clarity on the Two of Swords and the Four of Discs? And it looks like your windfall is on its way. Your success is coming in. The cycle is going to change. If you did feel like you were like underneath the game, or like all the work you're putting into something wasn't really getting you anywhere, you're going to figure out an innovative way to either get the gears moving on this yourself, or to handle this energy of destiny, good luck, and your fortune changing when it comes in. If this is you underneath the wheel, it's figuring out how to prepare for the future, because that wheel is always going to spin. Nothing is going to stay stuck underneath forever. So when that opportunity comes around, are you open to receiving it? Are you adaptable to change if changing how you did something in the past wasn't really getting you down that branch? But usually when the Wheel of Fortune comes through, it does mean that a big change is on its way. Big time. An opportunity, help. It's when you get extra cash. It's when that right advice comes through. And it feels like all of a sudden everything is more smooth. And even if there's a slump or something, because you've had the experience on how to get out of it from the past situation or, an experience, you handle it differently. It's always about finding your center spoke. Here is where you're going to handle however this wheel turns the best, because you found your center. But sometimes you have to look at it from the perspective up here or here to really find that center. It has a lot of books, so I do feel like you are gaining some kind of knowledge, or something is opening up to you, or a new chapter is unfolding, or you are back in the driver's seat to writing your own chapter. Maybe some of you are also writers. Clarity on the Wheel of Fortune. That's the big energy. The other two are just minor arcana, little situations you have more control over. Clarity on the Wheel of Fortune. What else would be helpful for the collective to know? Please and thank you. Wow, you are going to be doing really well at work. Maybe you're going back to work on something you're passionate about, or you're working on a project, or with people who are also passionate and work well together. Usually this is where a couple people are working on something, building something where you're different than the other people, and that's what's good. That's what gets something flowing. It's like one comes up with the plans, one gets to talk to all the people and get everyone together, and the other one does the physical labor or the hammering or the building of the project. It's just different skills that can come together. It could be all different personalities that somehow work together as well. But it's always recognizing the value in somebody else, the value in how they were different, how somebody else's perception, experience, expertise, talents, perception can bring something extra to something working. If this is you upside down anywhere, and that's what you're making the decision about changing, if you are working anywhere where you were not valued, where you didn't feel like, you weren't growing, you were just at a plateau all the time, and nothing was like bringing this windfall of abundance, or you were ever given the opportunity to expand your skills or to create a solid foundation where you are now, comfort where you are now, so you can build a bigger garden for your future, then it is you recognizing you might have to choose to leave that specific job or that project, or sometimes it's even one person, because you're not really working well together. It's like you're on different teams. But it looks like wherever you are heading, there is somebody bringing you money. There is somebody that's willing to put in physical energy and effort And it looks like somebody else is sort of the bridge between them. Like the one that mixes and mingles different energies together. Kind of like I'm kind of getting the extrovert or the people person. Like maybe they don't have a specific skill, but they know everybody. And they make all the phone calls and have all the connections to have something work out. Clarity on the 3 of discs, please and thank you. The 7 of discs. This is you working on your garden, having patience in a situation so it can grow in abundance in its right timing to get ripe when it's supposed to. So this is you knowing that you do have a harvest that's coming in as long as you put energy into planting the seeds, but it's having balance. If there's plenty of sunshine one day and plenty of rain another day, you need to not work so hard and take a weekend off, take a day off. Recognize that, you know, if it's just not the right season and you planted something and it's under the ground and it just needs time to wait till the spring where something will sprout, you need to be in that season that you are in. It does look like this person is taking a break, but is admiring these big, plump, juicy pentacle strawberry things that are hanging from the tree. It's also recognizing when that opportunity is there, when that thing that you're growing is ripe, don't let it go rotten. Have your preparation ready, your wheelbarrow ready, the people ready, your hands open so you can hold on to it. I see you making a pie now. Maybe some of you are bakers. You know, what do you do with that harvest once you have it? Once it comes in? It's never like you get that goal and that's it. You put the plaque on the wall. It's like you get those berries. Now what are you going to make with them? I just see somebody making a pie. It's just like there's always a new goal that you can go towards after one is obtained. Let's go to a different tarot deck just to kind of sum all of these together. Upside down is lack of patience, because I look at cards always. It's total lack of patience, forcing the nature of something to be other than it is, or not attending or maintaining or working in your garden, or overworking something to the point where it doesn't have that freedom to flourish. So let's go to, let's do the Thoth. I have the Thoth here. Let's do one overall summary and or extra deeper message to be helpful for you guys right now. One more message, please and thank you. Oh, you have the Hierophant. So that's taking all of those spiritual lessons that you have learned over experiences. It's also, and planting them in the earth and living those lessons, living that truth. It's also wise counsel, recognizing when something is wisdom, when it's coming from a spiritual place, from the right place. There's also that key again. But you do have to recognize if something just has a mask on and it's not like shining like a star, illuminated with the right kind of energy. I like that there's like Isis here. And this, I like the window, like a stained glass window. But do you see how this Hierophant is pointing down? It's taking this illumination, almost like a halo, spiritual knowledge, and figuring out how to ground it. If you just hear it and don't live it, then it's not the same kind of meaning. This could be you at work, Where's your work card? It could be you at work or working on something with others at school. It could be church. It could be a group. It could be one person. It could be a marriage. It's some kind of union in harmony where there are usually rules, so something flows, so something works. But I always see this upside down as sometimes leaving a situation that did not give a spiritual light to your soul, or rewriting the rules if they're not working anymore, if times are changing, if you're around different energies, if your mind has been opened, if it's a different season. It's not the same rules to tend your garden in the winter than the summer. Nor is each cycle that comes around every year going to be the same. So if you're sticking so solid to those rules and keep them set in stone because that's what you were told and that's what it's supposed to be, and having no expansion, something is not going to flourish or grow as much as it could if you were flexible. So sometimes you got to throw the rules out the window and make your own, or make the rules that work between you and a particular person, or you and a group. You know, if you're in one partnership or relationship and those rules worked for, you know, that dynamic, but then you enter into a new partnership as a totally different person, you're different around a different person, and that's a whole other, you know, human being. What works in that old partnership might not be the same rules at all that work for you in a new one. So you bring the beautiful lessons about you that you've learned, but you learn to adapt, adjust, let something go, savor what needs to be saved so that you can always grow and expand. It's also a Taurus energy. It's a very strong card, the Hierophant. But it is also recognizing the difference between truly wise advice and what you take with a grain of salt. Because sometimes it could be good advice, but it's just not for you. And that's okay. It's having your own discernment to see through the masks and see inside to the depth of every person, situation, and environment. And let's sum this reading up with one more like simple message. Let's do simple. If I have a simple one, I just thought of Simple Man. It's a good song. I like that song. Rose. I don't have anything here, so I guess I'm gonna pause it and go find something. Oh no, I do. I have the universe on love and connection, so let's do this. What is one more message to be helpful for the collective right now? Peace and thank you. Sum this reading up. What would love do? Maybe it's about asking the right questions. I hope you make that decision. Do you know why it's easy for us in the unseen to quickly pinpoint your whereabouts? You leave behind footprints of love. Aww, that's sweet. The universe. P.S. The legend of Bigfoot continues. Oh, I like that. Maybe you even, have like really cool conversations with someone with like some really cool subjects, like Bigfoot, dinosaurs, UFOs, history, Atlantis, technology, ancient artifacts. I just thought of elongated skulls. I mean, there's so many amazing subjects. The ocean. What about the ocean? It's so big. What's down there? We don't even know anything about what's on our, like, what's on the earth, let alone what's in the ocean. So maybe it's all about starting some big conversations. I feel like that was kind of a cool little thing to pop through at the end. It got me excited. I love to have deep, weird conversations that take you down the rabbit hole. And with that, I bid you adieu. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful night, afternoon, and I will see you very soon. Bye.